Wow, what a month we have had here in October. So let's chat about it, and hopefully November will be a little bit more peppy, calmer. It's not gonna be calmer. I don't know. Hopefully November will be something. Yeah. Anyway, hey, hi, hello. Welcome to the November coffee chat. In this one, I am answering 3 questions, which I have written down, but I don't know where I put my phone. So I will figure out what those are in a moment. I do remember one was about AI. And I remember thinking the other good ones were good questions, but one was about curriculum. So we're talking about curriculum and AI and something else. So let me go get some coffee, and you can go get some coffee, and we can meet back here somewhere maybe where the lighting is not insane. Okay? Okay, let's do it. So we have some cold brew. Made a little like vanilla cold foam situation. And then we're gonna add a little caramel on top. Sugar-free vanilla, full of sugar caramel. That's bad. I love the way cold brew looks when it's all like filling together. Let me hot this up. Oh, I moved that coaster. Hot this up a little bit more. Do not drink my coffee. Yeah, this dog. Okay, anyway, hey, hi, hello, welcome to November here on the coffee chat, where we chit chat about what's been going on and what's, gonna be going on and all that good stuff. October was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so good things. My birthday was in October. That was super fun. I had a little bit of a birthday party. It was really only like family and a couple of friends. It was like guest wise pretty small, but it was a really good time. I forced everyone to wear top hats and fascinators, and we painted pumpkins. They're still sitting here. I need to put them away. Painted pumpkins. This one's mine. It's so cute. This is my sister-in-law's, who's an art teacher. It's her cat. And she forgot to take it, so I need to give that to her next time I see her. And we had a really good time. It was really fun. And then husband and I went out to like fancy dinner on my actual birthday. I did turn 30, which I had many thoughts and feelings about, which probably didn't help the situation this month. But yeah, so that happened. Although it's like weird now being 30 instead of like in my 20s, it's just like a strange mental thing. But the good thing for me, at least, is I love a goal setting session. I love some planning, and so it really gave me the opportunity to like think ahead in the next 10 years, like, oh my gosh, okay, well, what are we doing in the next 10 years, and where are we going in the next 10 years, which got me really excited, which is super nice. Not just like where I want to go and what I want to do and all of those super fun things that come with, goal setting and planning. This was a bad choice because it's got cold foam, so I have to drink it this way. I mean, a lot hard to do. Okay. So that was good. Birthday party was good. We had some days off, which was good. But just in general, I am not gonna lie, I've been having a really hard time. The root cause, I believe, is I have a very different schedule at school this year, and it's a lot. The frequency that I see my classes, the very little amount of planning that I have, coupled with like the way the day is laid out. I have in the afternoons, it's 4 classes back to back to back to back. And it's really all over the place. Like it used to be older kids, younger kids in the morning and older kids in the afternoon. And so, 4th and 5th grade usually do pretty similar activities. The little kids usually do pretty similar activities. But right now I have like 5th, 3rd, kinder, 2nd, and like that is a lot. And then having kindergarten and 2nd grade at the end of the day is a lot. And just in general, it has felt like a lot. And at first I was like, the schedule sucks, I'll get used to it, it'll be fine. And now that we're over 9 weeks into it, I'm still not used to it. So that is leading me to believe that it is like actually really just awful. So that's been a struggle. I feel like I have been overstimulated a lot. And just like so busy when I'm at work because I have so little amount of time to get everything done. And then I'm seeing my kids more often, which is great. But because I'm seeing them more often, I then have more lesson planning and I have more grades and I have more of this and more of that. And there's just like a lot more going on. So that has been a lot. And then kind of coupled with taking on more stuff at church. And there's been a lot of changes at church, which is fine. But a lot of it has just been like a lot. And that's just kind of how I've been feeling. Like everything has just been really feeling like a lot lately. So I'm catching myself. This is why I'm sharing this with you. Not to be like, oh, everything sucks. I'm catching myself and I'm letting you know, if you feel this way, to stop yourself and reevaluate. Here's why. This is kind of like the precursor to burnout. And there's only been once in my life that I've like really truly like hit that wall of burnout or like almost gotten to that wall, which was a few years ago. And it was at the end of the school year. And I truly believe that if I had gone to school through June, I would have just like quit. I was like, I could not handle it anymore. And this is kind of like the precursor to that, I believe. This is how I felt before that, when everything was just a lot. And I just felt overwhelmed all the time and stressed out all the time and overstimulated all the time. And so I am having this realization this past week. Last week I had like a choir festival all weekend, and then I was so tired. Like exhausted in my soul tired. Afterwards I just like could not function. Sunday I like couldn't function, didn't even go out to eat with people after church. I was like, I gotta go home, like we gotta go. And then Monday I really should have taken a sick day. I didn't because I wasn't sick, but I just felt awful. But it really truly, I was just tired. And it kind of like melted away as the day went on, and then I went to bed like early last night, and that helped a lot. Today I slept in late because of that. I was like, I just need to really calm myself down. So I'm feeling better now, like short term from this weekend. But that like the exhaustion in your soul, the overstimulation, all of that, I remember feeling those things right before I got to that point of like, I can't do this anymore. So I am telling you all this to say, if you're feeling that away, pause, take a moment, take a night, take a week, and kind of reflect. So that's kind of where I am right now. I don't have a good game plan yet, but that's something I kind of want to work on this evening. It's just kind of like, what is my game plan going forward? I've talked to the art teacher about it, and kind of like she and I brainstormed some different things that I could drop, because there's not a lot of stuff I could drop or that I want to drop. But you know, like I have choir after school, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, choir could end in December, and that could be fine. So that's like a thing we could do, and that is realistic. And there's some other things that I'm like, I could, you know, stop doing this at some point. That might help, but that's just where we are. The other flip side of that is the business is fine. It's running itself. Hallelujah. I have still been sending emails. I have been trying to get on Instagram. I have not been doing great. I've been trying to post on YouTube. I have not been doing great because I've been so overstimulated and so tired. I haven't been able to sleep. Oh, and there's been so many extra things. Have I mentioned the extra functions? Anyway. But between like getting home late, overstimulation, and exhaustion, I have just been like not able to film a lot. And so that is really hard when a lot of my business is YouTube. So that's really not fabulous. But it's just been like a perfect storm. And then in there was like, you know, my birthday, that was fun. That was great. But just like all over, it's just been like crazy town. So the business is fine. It is, you know, It's not the end of the month, so I don't know for sure. I'm right at like, hopefully I'll hit 10,000, and it'll be like right on that cusp of like maybe 10,000, maybe a little under, maybe a little over, is kind of where we are as of right now, which is great. But like, as far as getting work done, getting products done, getting products updated, nothing's been happening. I have been trying, and it's like, I'll get, a few minutes here, a few minutes there. It's been a true struggle. So that has been, and then that compounds of like my stress, because then I feel all these things like piling up because I can't get them done, and I don't love that. And although it's like, they don't technically have to get done, if I don't work in the business, then it's not gonna prosper. And so that's like a whole added stress level. So that's where I currently am. Sorry to just like dump all this on you. I'm like, here's, all the things I've been thinking. But it's been really a lot. So I am hoping that things will be a little better. I am going to have to be very intentional about making things better myself, because it's not just going to happen. I have to like put things in place, whether that be, hey, you need to actually sleep, or whether that is, hey, you need to actually get some work done, or whether that is, hey, I need to drop something. Whatever it is, I do need to make things happen. Especially going into November, because although I'm like, oh, maybe it'll calm down, it's not going to calm down. I have like an out of town trip, and we have Thanksgiving, and then the choir will have their like field trip and concert in December, at the beginning of December. And so like things are coming, and then, all the extra holiday stuff. One thing I do want to do this year for funsies, and also just for, whatever, is I want to do a lot of like DIY projects. I have like a whole list of DIY projects that I want to do. Some that are like Christmas decorations, and then some that are like Christmas presents. I have some like t-shirt ideas I want to make. I have some like kid toys I want to make, and just like those kind of things to just really, try to make it fun. So there's been a lot of going on. And then the whole like turning 30, there's been this whole existential like thing that I've been going through of like, what do I want to do, and what am I going to focus on for the next 10 years, and like, where am I going? So anyway, sorry to dump that all on you. That was a lot. There's been a lot on my mind. Anyway. Yeah, so we're going to drink a Dutch. We do have a concert on Thursday for first grade, and then after that I only have the choir concert, so that's good. But let's see. I do have 3 questions. Oh, I always tell you the books that I've read. This month I finished Harry Potter 6, and I'm gonna say I finished Harry Potter 7 because I will probably finish it tonight or tomorrow. I'm in the Battle of Hogwarts, so it's already started. We're looking for things and getting there, so that's where we are there, which is, it doesn't seem like a ton, but those books are really long, so it's not like I read 2 100-page books. They're both like 800 pages, so I was like, whatever. Anyway, that's also what our Halloween costume is. Our whole team at school is dressing up like Harry Potter characters. I'm gonna be Fleur Delacour because she has a cool hat, and I have always loved her hat, and now I have an excuse to buy her hat, and so I have it upstairs, and I'm very excited about it. Anyway, I have 3 questions that y'all have asked now that I have, just regurgitated all that on you. I was not planning to tell you all that, but here we are. Welcome to the channel if you're new. So 3 questions. Number 1 is from Growth Education Therapy, and it says topics: building curriculum and programs. So I've been working on this first grade curriculum since June. Okay, so like for 4 months, and it's gonna go into next month, so for 5 months. It is not a quick thing, especially when you only have moments here and there. You really need that time to devote to it, which I had over the summer, and I tried, and I should have tried harder because I got a lot of it done over the summer. in those like deep work hour, 2, 3, 4 hour long sessions, and it was super helpful. I should have pushed myself a little further to get more of it done, but you know, we can't go back and do that. As far as doing a curriculum or a like huge unit or something like that, I would say profitability wise, I don't know yet because I haven't posted, so I can't say anything for sure. However, typically I find when I have a unit, it won't sell as many, but it will sell some, and then those some make a lot more money because it's more expensive. If you are looking into doing a unit or a curriculum or a whole year thing, the main thing I would say is planning. You really have to go in stages and you really have to plan it out. So what I did is I went through and I knew I wanted, I teach music, so music is usually like a once a week activity. So I was like, okay, I need a lesson for every week of the school year. There's like 9 weeks. You know, you have 4 9-week periods, so that's 36 weeks. I think I went to 38, and then I have like 2 optional lessons. I think I call them bonus lessons, so that you have some extra things if you have like a random weird week thrown in there somewhere. So I went through and did that, and I made like a table, and I went through and was like, okay, what are the concepts we're doing? And then what like months are we working on the different concepts? And then what do I want to include in all those months? And what do I want to include to teach those concepts? And it was really a lot. I mean, I've taught first grade for 9 years, so I had a lot of knowledge to build off of. It's not exactly, someone asked me this recently, it's not exactly what I teach in my class, because my class is different than my online curriculum for a few reasons. Number one is my district has a program that we do that I was not able to really include like anything into this curriculum because a lot of it was copyrighted, which is a big problem with music. So that was one. Number two is that my first graders usually have a first grade program that they have done the last 3 years. We've had a first grade concert. And so because of that, I have, not done my curriculum maybe the way that I would have because of that, especially because it's been different every year. So like last year we did a jungle theme, and this year we're doing it based on the book Brown Bear, Brown Bear. And so the things I'm doing now are different than the things I did last year, because I'm using different songs, because we're getting ready for different programs. And then that goes into my teaching. I'm using, those songs that we're using for the program to try to teach my concepts, to try to like double dip in that way. So that's like 2 big reasons why it's not exactly 100% how I teach at school. But it is pretty close. And I was like, okay, I need to teach this concept. And I went back and looked and was like, oh, well, here, I can use this song and I can do this. And I kind of use the same format, and it's like how I would teach. It's just not necessarily how I like am currently teaching or how I have taught in the past, if that makes sense. And they're all lessons I've done. They're all songs I've done. It's just like in a different order or a different variation than I have done. So that's kind of the main thing, is really, really spend some time on the planning and spend time on making templates. No, the hiccups, sorry. Spend some time on templates so that all your things look the same, because you don't want to get halfway through and then change something, because then it's not going to look very professional, and we don't like that. So that's number one. Number two, Morgan 531, do you buy Clipart still or use Canva graphics more? Nope, I buy Clipart most of the time. I only use Canva graphics really on, not really anything. I don't make my stuff on Canva, which I guess is the big thing. If you are making stuff on Canva, please make sure that you are using either the free version or the paid version, and not your teacher version. You can't use the teacher stuff in a resource that you are selling. Okay. And then the last question is from Jackie Partridge Art. Thoughts on AI and how you use it. So I don't use AI a ton right now. The main thing I use it for is, I would say, idea generation. So specifically, like I went through, and with my YouTube channel, you can like copy the link to your channel and you can stick it in there and be like, come up with 5 videos based on the top performing videos on this channel, which you can do with any channel, but I would highly recommend you do it on your own. So you can do stuff like that, or title ideas, like describing a title and have it coming out. I've used it a few times for like descriptions or Instagram captions. I don't use it word for word. Do not ever use it word for word. People can tell. But what I do is I have put the link of the product into ChatGPT and I've said, create a description for this product. It is aimed towards this, type of teacher, emphasize blah, 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 blah. It spits something out and then I revise it heavily because they look like they're from AI. Don't use them as they are, but go through and edit it. And it gives me a really good starting place if I'm not sure what to do. Or I'll be like, I want to make a content piece on this. Can you give me a sample outline? I would also say the more niche specific something is, the harder it is to deal with AI because it's not going to help. And in general, it's not very specific in general. So those are 2 ways I've used it. I think the only other thing I've done is I use it at church sometimes. I will type it in and say like summarize, Exodus chapters 4-8 for a third grade reading level, or for, a 10-year-old or something like that. And then it'll shoot out like a summary of a Bible story. And that's been really helpful. I haven't used that in any of my products, but I have used it at church and that has been helpful. Just, also random, but hey, give me 5 Bible verses that have to do with this concept. It's really random, but if you ever find yourself needing that has been really helpful too. Just like, hey, I need verses about forgiveness. Like, what are some verses about forgiveness? What does the Bible say about this? Don't take it as word for it. I always go to my Bible and like look those up and like read through them in the actual text, but it is a good starting place if you are just like looking for something. So that's a couple of different ways that I use AI. I don't use it a lot. Kind of idea generation or like rephrasing something, just kind of giving a starting point, which I think is kind of where AI really shines, is those like starting points. Because listen, nothing is going to beat the actual human who is in a classroom and knows what you're going through, which is why I don't think AI is ever going to completely take over the world. I do think it's going to make it harder for people who make, really simplistic resources especially. But if you're making whole year curriculums and really complicated this and really complicated that, that does help. I will also say I follow a lot of children's book authors and authors in general. No comment about why that might be. But what I want to say about that is that they're definitely, between them and like a lot of moms I know, especially with picture books, I've seen a big pushback against AI and just in general the like more modern kind of things that just feel a little soulless, because AI is always going to feel soulless because it doesn't have a soul, because it's not a person. Also, random, but in the second Harry Potter book, there was a really good quote that I feel like we need to frame and just put everywhere, and it was from Arthur Weasley when Ginny admits that she's been talking to the diary. If you haven't read or watched that one, you're gonna be really confused. But basically there's a diary and the evil wizard is in the diary and the little girl's been talking to it, and what her dad says is, never trust something that can talk if you can't see where its brain lives. And I was like, we should all know about that. That was written in like the 90s. Like, we should all really take that to heart. Okay. So if you're using AI, use it the way it needs to be used. Idea generation, a starting point, a rough, idea, an outline, but don't go through and definitely don't trust it, because I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten something and I've been like, this is AI, like 100% I can tell. So there's that. And then number 2, it just doesn't have that heart behind it. And I think that's what really makes our businesses special is, hey, I'm in the classroom, or I was in the classroom, and I know what you're going through, and I have the perfect thing to get your kids engaged, even on Halloween week, even, here, even there. Hey, this didn't work for me, but this worked for my kiddos. This worked for that kid that like nothing would work for him. So that has been just really, really helpful, really special. So I don't think it's ever going to like overtake anything. That wasn't the question. The question was, how do I use it? So that's how I use it. But just make sure your stuff has heart, because if it doesn't have heart, what are we even doing here? make money. Like, we're not making enough money to not put our heart into it, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take a lovely little bath, and I'm gonna think about what I'm doing with, you know, the rest of the year and how I'm going to function. And I will see you in the next one. So, sorry that wasn't super happy and uplifting, but sometimes it is what it is. Anyway, see you in the next one.